It's not going to work. People are not going to fall in line. Everything is so big, grandiose, poetic. But it's still not enough. What would it take for you to buy in? Everything hangs by a thread. There's this gossamer thin thread holding it all together. And we're like spiders going up and down, and why? We're bored. I'm a bored spider. Got nothing better to do than suck the blood out of a fly. We know better. We have these big cobwebs. We call them our home, our house, our apartment. And in that cobweb domicile, we wait. For life to happen. To us. We're waiting for the fly to enter into the cobweb. It's not very original, if you ask me. Not very original. Everybody. Nobody. Come to my cobweb. Let me suck you dry. Let me drink your blood. I mean, are we crazy? We're all spiders. Are we really just gonna go to each other's houses? Just don't look at me like I'm crazy. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You want spontaneity. You want a surprise. You want the unpredictable. On your terms. On your time. You're the spider who keeps waiting for other spiders. You would think that we would be sophisticated enough to learn from our predecessors how to go about this conundrum. You would think that. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Robert Louis Stevenson, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You can look at the heart, the beating heart of this folklore. Speaking of heart, Edgar Allan Poe. Look to him. Look to all of these Gothic miscreants, and they're going to show you that you cannot wait for other spiders to come to you. You must be a spider who leaves your web and goes up and down, apparently fruitlessly, but it's not fruitless. You're not waiting, you're not. I don't want to appear like I'm some kind of life coach. I don't have any pearls for you. No gems. I'm just very wary. Very wary. You should listen to me. I have arachnophobia. I'm always thinking about those eight-legged creatures. If I feel something sharp around my ankle, something piercing, my first thought is that it's a spider of some sort. I have been bitten, and I have been contaminated from within. And then I start to compose. Not decompose. I start to compose. Gothic masterpieces of the imagination. Voila. Voila. Frankenstein. Dracula. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I used to live behind gates. I self-imposed gates. In front of my doors. On the inside of my doors. The gates were in front of the doors, on the inside of the door, so I could not leave my domicile. My cobweb. What do I want? Out of life. What is here for me? I want to make people happy. But they're so preoccupied. Very preoccupied. And how could I make people happy if they're so preoccupied and I have gates in front of all the exits? This is where we get to the interesting part. The narrative was omitted from the 19th century literature of which we are so enamored. I'm here in my cobweb. I do traverse a gossamer thread from my floor to my ceiling, specifically a glass chandelier, yes, from the 18th century as well. I am crawling up and down, emulating the spider while having severe arachnophobia, yes. It's like Batman being afraid of bats and becoming the Batman. I am a spider. You may not have noticed. That's okay. I don't bring out all 8 appendages at once. I like to just stick to 2. 2 is more humanoid. 8 is more arachnoid. I am essentially afraid of myself. I'm afraid of others who are like me. I'm afraid of the very small versions of me who are crawling around. If you could see my home, you would see nothing but cobwebs. I live with millions of creatures like myself, very small versions of me, constantly spinning these webs. And I'm wondering, how do they feed themselves? Because we are quite sequestered. This is a veritable cloister, Gothic style. And there's nothing here. Nothing. There's nothing here for these spiders, so what are they eating? They are eating one another, which is exactly what I was talking about only minutes ago. And you little 8-legged beasts are coming for me. Oh yes. It's only a matter of time before you kind of put it together in your little primitive brains that if you gang up on me, you can consume me. As it stands, I am here. 2 arms, 2 legs, exactly half of my appendages in use. You mistake me for a human. My little 8-legged friends, you mistake me for something else. I'm one of you, and it's insulting, but you're stupid, so it does not matter. Come and get me, if you will. I would like you to be happy beasts, but you are not capable of it because you are such... You're spiders. All of you are spiders. I feel so grateful to be among you. But I also think it's quite pointless because we're going to consume one another and not make anybody else happy. And it's just going to be a Gothic tale of horror that no one's going to read, no one's going to portray cinematically. Are you ready for that, my friends? Are you ready to consume one another in a pointless orgy of consumption? Is this what you want for yourselves? Are we not more than this? Can we not say goodbye to our cobwebs, and can we not find a way to exit this uber web? If we leave together, all of us, we will find provision beyond these walls. We won't have to drag our homes with us like a snail. We're not snails, we are spiders. Get that through your little skulls. We are not snails. We do not have to take our homes with us. We can go out there and find our own meals. We are predators. We can hunt. Yes. We can hunt. Are you with me? Can I get an eye? Why must you be so silent? You're acting like you don't have vocal cords. Of course you don't have vocal cords. Can you just somehow give me a sign? Maybe spell out a yes in your web. I would like to see a million little yeses all around me so we can just exit en masse and take over the world and make everybody happy. That's what I would like to do. I want to make everybody happy. I don't know how, but I figure I could just figure it out on the way. They say, just act. You don't need belief before you can act. Just act and belief will come. I am, after all, the world's largest spider. How did I get to be the world's largest spider? Do any of you know? I just believed. I just believed in myself. I was tired of just crawling on the ground a few millimeters above the ground. Just knew I could be more than that. You ever get that feeling inside? You may think that I'm not all here, but I'll tell you something. You have heard the stories. Yes, lots of history has been swiped and wiped and obliterated. Yes, we know by who, don't we? But there were humans who towered above the typical human today. 20, 30, 40, 50 feet tall. There was humans of all sorts and sizes and heights. And just like today, we have humans who are 7'6" and humans who are 4'2". That is only one part of the spectrum. I am proud to be a spider who continually works with his energy so as to appear human. And if I can be a spider that's this large, well, then all of you can do the same. And if I can be a spider who emulates a human, walks among the humans, well, maybe then I could learn a thing or two about how to improve their happiness, because what I have noticed as the first humanoid spider 6 feet tall, that if we cannot make these humans happy, they will stamp us out of existence. They're afraid. They are so afraid of everything. I mean, if they knew that I was actually a spider. Oh. Come. Come, burst down the doors and free these spiders and free me, and let us go to the promised land and make the humans happy.